Alrighty, thank you for joining us tonight and welcome to the District 6 Budget Town Hall. My name is Tiana Parker. I serve as your Community Engagement Officer in the Office of Community Engagement and Constituent Services, also known as your liaison between community and county government, and I will be moderating this evening. So this town hall is part of an annual town hall series and is your opportunity to let county leaders know what you and your community think should be in the should be funded in the county's fiscal year 27 budget. This evening, you will hear opening remarks from our District 6 County Council member, Lisa Rabian, then County Executive Stuart Pittman, and then Pujab Haseen, with our budget office, will share a presentation about the county's budget process and the outlook for the fiscal year 27 budget. After the presentation, we will open the floor for public testimony, and you will get your chance to share your budget report. Now, before we begin, I'd like to introduce our elected officials that we have here. We have Stephanie Minkins, which is a representative of Delegate Dana Jones. We also have Joanna Tobin, AACPS School Board Member. And we'd like to also introduce our department directors that we have here tonight. We have Jessica Lays, Director of Recreation and Parks. And then we also have Karen Henry, Director of the Department of Public Works. And now, without further ado, we will now like to introduce County Councilwoman Lisa Rabian to make some remarks.
Thank you and good evening. And I actually just noticed Delegate Dylan Baylor walk in. So since we're announcing elected officials, I'd like to just acknowledge that he's joining us here. So it's a little bittersweet. This is going to be my last one of these budget town halls, at least on this side. I'm sure I'll be back because I'm loud. So I'll be loud in a different space. But I just want to thank everybody for coming out here. Thankfully, the weather is a little bit better. We're finally getting rid of ice, and hopefully we'll get rid of ice completely. We're going to just, be done with that. We're going to melt into spring. It's going to be beautiful. But I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys are prioritizing. I think some of the best advocates in the county are right here in District 6, advocating for the important things that really help build up our community. So again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. And enjoy. And I guess I'll introduce our next speaker, the wonderful, and this is, well, I'll let him say that, our wonderful County Executive Stuart Pittman.
Thank you. I guess this is number 8 for us, isn't it? 8 budget town halls. Yes.
I was like, no, you got one more.
Yeah, I got one more. So yes, this is number, I don't know, it's about 64 if you include, because there's 7 districts, and then there's the one that we do that's virtual in Spanish. That's on Monday night. So this is not my last budget town hall of my career as county executive. It is my second last, but it's the last in person. And I, like Councilwoman Rabian, will probably be in one of these seats in the future, being a real difficult constituent for whoever's advocating for some of the things that I know that many of you are advocating for. Hey, I want to recognize all of thank all of the public officials and thank all of the department heads. But there is one in particular who I can't believe she's here, Karen Henry, who runs the Department of Public Works, oversees, you would not believe how many bureaus within Public Works there are, but the one that's been the most important is roads. And I know that she has not been sleeping much the last few days, but I would like to recognize Karen Henry's work during this storm and a standing ovation. Karen, but all of the drivers, all of the contractors, at least most of the contractors, the ones that did what they were asked to do, which is most of them, it's been an incredible effort. And it's been amazing during the storm to watch through the Office of Emergency Management, the team, all the departments that come together. You would not believe, most county departments actually have a seat in the Emergency Operations Center because they're on call, they're communicating back and forth to make sure that everything that is being done in a coordinated way. So thank you all for the work during the storm. And I know that all of you are here to advocate for something. I hope all of you walk out of here advocating for more things than just the one you walked in for, being supportive of. I know that happens, and I love watching it happen. I love watching people testify about an issue and seeing the support from their neighbors. And I know that a lot of folks actually are here not just to talk to us, to tell us what they think is important for the budget proposal and the ultimate budget that gets passed by the council, but you're here to talk to your neighbors, and that is equally important, maybe more important, because organizing in the community to build support for these things is the way real power is built. So I'm just going to read a quick little statement that is up here, and I'm reading it in every one of these budget town halls because it resonates with me, and I think it's really important. Budgets are a statement of values and strategy. The 7 that came before this one demonstrated belief that came before this one in my administration, demonstrated belief that government matters. Our schools, our public safety, our environment, our health, and the people who live here all benefit when we invest in effective government. This is the last budget that I will present as county executive, and my commitment is to remain fiscally disciplined, to continue seeking the wisdom of our residents, and to prioritize opportunities for those among us who have too often been left behind. We enter this process with the highest bond ratings, the highest reserves, the greatest infrastructure investments, and the strongest workforce this county has ever had. This final budget must leave for the next administration a house in good order. So thank you. Look forward to hearing what everybody has to say, and we'll say goodbye at the end and have a few more comments. But thanks for showing up.
Good evening. I'm Huja Hassin, Budget Administrator. I will quickly go through a slideshow. So the slide you're looking at right now shows the budget process, and all the blue boxes represent what county executive's office does. And then on the May 1st, budget is proposed to county council, represent on the green box. And after that, county council deliberates the budget, and budgets will be adopted by June 15th. And this slideshow shows where the money comes from. County's general fund has $2.4 billion revenue altogether. And as you can see, property tax and income tax is roughly 75% of our total revenues. And we have some recordation transfer tax revenue, investment income, licenses and permits revenues, and some fund balances. Altogether, $2.4 billion. This is next slide. This shows where the money goes. Again, that $2.4 billion. As you can see, roughly 50% goes to Board of Education for our school system, and the second largest pie here is public safety, 21%. And the third one is general government. General government is including all the office, finance, budget office, county executive's office, council, and all administrative, even, so there's some non-departmental transfer type stuff in there. And then you have some debt service payments, which is 3% for our bonds we issued. So this is shows you where the money goes on a very high level. And next slide, this slide is some budget highlights about FY26 budget. FY26 budget, property tax was reduced by 0.6 cents. Next up, the rainy day fund to $178.8 million. And we extended critical health and human services program, which formerly funded by federal funding. Invested record $52 million of new funding for the Board of Education. Created 14 new public safety positions, and we maintained AAA rating from bond rating agency for the county bonds. And this slide shows property tax rate comparison among 32 counties in Maryland. As you can see, we are ninth lowest, and then all the central Maryland large jurisdiction is left to us, which is a property tax is higher than us. Next slide shows income tax. We are fifth lowest in income tax in entire Maryland. Again, our rate is lower than all the major jurisdictions in the central Maryland area. Next slide. This slide shows rainy day fund, and that orange line is a statutory limit, how much we can put into that fund. And that blue line shows how much fund balance we have at the end of the fiscal year. As you can see, this county executive's administration raised the rate 3 times, and then every time we maxing out. Right as we speak, we have $178.8 million rainy day fund, and this fund only can be tapped into when we have economic slowdown, revenue shortfall, or any type of emergency. And during the last 7 years of this administration, we made pretty good progress, and we are in a good sound financial footing. This is due to many factors, and here we want to thank county council members and county workforce, bargaining units, department heads, and then Arundel County Public School Superintendent and board members. Thanks for your collaboration on it. And during last 7 years, county made some investment, and we highlight some of them. First one is public safety funding. As you can, public safety salaries have increased on average of 43.6% since 2018. And we added total 164 field positions in public safety area. Vacancy rates for sworn positions have dropped dramatically for the 3 departments, which is fire department, police department, and sheriff. As you can see, firefighters vacancy was 9.4% in 2019. It dropped down to 3.5% in December of 2025. Police officers vacancies was 9.3, now 4.7. Sheriff vacancy was 21.6%, now just last year, and then it dropped down to 6.8% in December of 2025. And second investment is we did great in the public school funding. Since 2018, the county has increased the direct funding for Arundel County Public Schools from $687.1 million to $981 million, which is $294.5 million increase, which represents 43% increase in funding. Chronic absenteeism has declined by 5 points, and now we have 15 5-star schools, and 53% of our schools are 4-star or higher. To 2023-2024 school year, improved school teacher salary from 19th in Maryland to 4th. That's a big step. And instructional staff retention rate is now 95.7%, and vacancies has plummeted. And this slide shows, left-hand side is classroom teacher vacancies. As you can see, 2022 we have 283 teacher vacancies, and 2025 only have 32. Bus driver vacancies in 2022 was 93, and you all probably remember we don't have enough bus drivers to take our kids from school to home. Now, the last 2 years we have 0 vacancies. So now let's talk about a little bit about FY27 outlook. FY27 property tax revenue is stable, modest growth. As you all know, property tax revenue only grow by CPI or 4.5%, whichever less by the county's tax cap. And we expect the CPI probably range 2.7%-ish. January CPI hasn't been published yet, so property taxes will probably grow by 2.7 to 3% range. Income tax revenues did really good last couple of years, but now we see some slowing down as labor market is weakening. Recordation transfer tax revenue is flattish because of the high mortgage interest rate. As we speak, mortgage interest rate is 6.2% on average right now, and so that is better than 2-3 years ago, but still we're flat year over year for the recordation transfer tax. Expenditure side, high wage growth, which we mentioned earlier in all that slides, rising our pension costs. Debt service payments are increasing as we doing more capital projects and issue more bond. And also that adds operating costs from capital project, for example, new parks, etc. And we also have some external factors not affecting us. For example, defunding of federal government services and investments. School enrollment is down. That means state will give us less money for the school. State budget deficit could mean expenditure shifts from the state to the counties. And this slide shows a budget building exercise. This is a snippet of what we call it a big picture. One pager sometimes we present to the county executive. So as you can see, incremental new revenue, for example, for FY27 will be roughly 120 million. And out of that, we have already spoken for non-discretionary expenditures such as debt service, pension contributions, other post-employment benefit contributions, self-insurance fund, health insurance fund, state budget shifts, and we also have a bunch of vehicles we maintain, their lease costs, lease rate costs, etc., at least $40 million. So 120, 40 already spoken for, gone. In addition to that, we have union negotiations. We have about 5,000 employees, and they pay packages, Board of Education, all that stuff. And we have $80 million, but we have a lot more stuff to do. For example, here, Board of Education requested $100 million more. As is a simple math, just told you, only $80 million for everything, including Board of Education. So that shows making FY27 budget balance is a tough decision, tough work ahead of us. That being said, we have some additional resources on the county website, and the web page is listed here, Open Arundel. We have a budget buddy tool, and we also have budget office pages, shows at least 20 years history of our budget books and presentations. And you have also a website called Your Budget, which is this presentation and all other information is available. And also, if you have friends or families couldn't make it today, you can provide that email address there. So they can send us email about their priorities, their feedback, and we will read those emails and we will communicate with the county executive. Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right, thank you so much, Hijab. Now it's time for the public testimony portion of this evening, where we get a chance to hear from you. This is your chance to let your county leaders know what you would like funded in the FY27 budget. So here's how it works. So each speaker will have 2 minutes to give their testimony. 2 minutes. You will see a timer on the screen to help you keep track of your time. For the sake of time, the county executive and the county council member won't have an opportunity to comment on every testimony, but they are taking notes and they are listening. So I will begin by calling names of those who signed up to speak first and who checked in this evening, starting with the District 6 residents and then followed by everyone else. I will call a few names at a time. When I call your name, please line up in the order behind the microphone and make sure you speak directly in it. And after we have gotten through the list of people who have signed up to speak, we will open up the floor for anyone else who would like to share their budget request. If we don't have time to hear from you tonight, your budget requests are still very much important to us. And so if you think of something else, you will be able to share your email request through email, your budget request through email at budget-comments@aacounty.org. All right. Got to get the code to the iPad so I can call your names. It's a little longer this time than last time. Let's see. All right, so we will start with Jack Schmierling, Katie Edwards, Shelley Rao, and Stacy Korblack.
I just start?
Absolutely. We're happy to hear from you.
I'm Jack Schmerling. I've lived in Anne Arundel County for 52 years since the Army stationed me here at Fort Meade. I've lived in the 21401 zip code for 46 years. I'm Executive Vice President of Congregation Knesset Israel, a synagogue that's been located in Annapolis for 120 years. And I'm also on the board of the Jewish Federation of Annapolis and the Chesapeake. I'm speaking on behalf of a security grant program for faith-based nonprofit organizations. I wrote to the county executive and to my county councilwoman on January 25th and almost immediately got a response. I was very pleased to hear that. However, the response misses the point. The NSGP federal program is underfunded, oversubscribed, restricted as to what it could pay for, such as guard services. And most importantly, it gives priority to first-time applicants regardless of the need of others. If you received a small grant 10 years ago, you are a secondary consideration regardless of your need. There is also a state program which is also flawed. It restricts where guard services can go, it's oversubscribed, and it faces reduction because of our budget concerns. We request that Anne Arundel County join Montgomery, Prince George's, and Howard counties in creating a program to provide public safety for faith-based nonprofit organizations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Katie Edwards, and I am a resident of District 6, and I'm speaking in support of the Annapolis Symphony Orchestra to ask your consideration of $50,000 in funding to support our free Pops in the Parks concerts. For over a decade, we have performed a free concert each Labor Day weekend at Quiet Waters Park and have now expanded over the past 2 years to perform at Downs Park. Thank you to County Executive Pittman and Lisa Rodvian and other members of the County Council for your steadfast support of our programs in the past years. Your commitment to these concerts underscores the county's recognition of the transformative role music plays in our lives. $50,000 is not the full cost of these concerts. We recently negotiated to provide our exceptional musicians with a 7% raise, and rising costs across this industry and others have led to increases. With your assistance, the ASO will continue to offer these musical experiences free to the public. Cost should not be a barrier to music. These outdoor Labor Day weekend concerts have become a cherished tradition for Anne Arundel County. Families gather to picnic, children dance in the grass, and the audience is taken on a musical journey led by our maestro, Jose Luis Novo. You may recall that in 2025, traffic around Quiet Waters Park was brought to a standstill by attendees of the concert, including, thank you, Stuart Pittman. These events bring joy and connection, and they are free. The ASO, in addition, also has the Annapolis Symphony Academy, now in its 8th year, and provides over $400,000 in need-based scholarships for local children to have exceptional music education. You may have heard the students play at the Governor's Mansion and the Annapolis tree lighting in the recent holiday season. Thank you for your consideration and continuing to invest in music, memories, and shared experiences that strengthen our community. We look forward to working together to make 2026 another unforgettable year for Pops in the Park and hope to see you at an upcoming concert. Thank you.
And I am Shelley Rowe, also a District 6 resident, and also here representing the Annapolis Symphony Orchestra. You know, in today's world, there's not a lot of good news. In fact, I don't know about you, but some days it's all I can do to bring myself to even read the news every day. It can be kind of depressing. And with that backdrop, now transport yourself to a beautiful afternoon in gorgeous Quiet Waters Park and Downs Park. Thank you so much to Parks and Rec. And now we have, as you heard from Katie, thousands of families and friends on their picnic blankets, sitting in the sun with their picnic and their food and their family, and they're listening to symphonic sounds of the Annapolis Symphony Orchestra. Like you heard from Katie, there are kids that are dancing, and you might remember last year, one of those kids actually got on stage and conducted the orchestra, both at Quiet Waters and at Downs Park. And when the orchestra plays Stars and Stripes Forever, people are on their feet, clapping, smiling, and walking out with a smile on their face. We hope that you love, as much as we love, partnering with you through the Annapolis Symphony to bring a few hours of happiness and joy to the citizens of our county. Now, I wish I could say it was the gift that keeps on giving. You keep giving, we keep giving, you know, so everybody keeps giving. We are so grateful for your support, and we look forward to continuing the partnership on behalf of the citizens of our county. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Stacy Korbelak. I'm a resident of Annapolis. I am the secretary of the Library Foundation Board and a decades-long library customer. February is Love Your Library Month. And over the years, our county libraries have morphed from a place to check out books to a space of sanctuary and refuge for our community members, especially in times of uncertainty or crisis. That's why I'm here tonight to advocate for the library's FY27 budget priorities, specifically funding for the 3% merit increase and the 3% cost of living adjustment outlined in our first collective bargaining agreement. And also for support for critical operational positions that keep our libraries trusted, dependable spaces as more people turn to them for help. Every day, our libraries provide access to technology, education, workforce support, and welcoming spaces where people feel valued and supported. When families need reliable internet, when job seekers are applying for work, when students need a place to learn, and when community groups need a place to meet or someone needing to navigate a difficult moment, the library is often the first and sometimes the only place they can turn. Demand continues to grow. More residents are visiting and attending programs and utilizing our services, and meeting that demand depends on investing in the people and the systems behind the scenes. Our staff are the foundation of everything we do, and honoring the collective bargaining agreement recognizes their expertise, commitment, and expanding role in our community. As I've mentioned, I've watched the library grow and change for decades, but what hasn't changed is the staff's dedication to serving and improving the lives of Anne Arundel County residents. I urge you to honor their work by approving the library's supplemental budget request. Thank you, Councilwoman Robian and County Executive Pittman, for your continued support for our public libraries. And to everyone who uses and loves the library, thank you too.
Thank you. We will now ask David D'Elia, Francine McMahon, Jackie Coleman, and Reverend Lauren Bloom to please come up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm David D'Elia from Arundel on the Bay, what our neighbors believe to be the best place in the best place. This will be short and to the point. I'd like to make my yearly pitch for increased funding and personnel for the Department of Public Works, where our and every other community in Anne Arundel County's rubber quite literally meets the road every day. While we must all value our interactions with our outstanding firefighters, teachers, EMTs, police officers, librarians, emergency management, and animal control staff, I wanted to emphasize the importance of our daily dependence on DPW services: trash collection, water quality control, sewage removal and treatment, roadside tree and vegetation control, roads maintenance, paving, plowing and salting, street lighting, traffic control, road signs, and infrastructure maintenance and development. Every service we always take for granted until they're not there. Thanks again for listening, and until next year, and thank you, Stuart, for a job very well done.
Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you so much for this opportunity to speak. I have to say that I've had a career in media, more specifically political publications, and I have never been able to take a public stand, but this particular issue on the county security grant program for me is life-saving, and I choose life. I'm here to urge Anne Arundel County to establish a county-level security grant program for faith-based institutions and community nonprofits at risk of hate crimes and bias-motivated violence. Federal and state security grants do exist, but they are not sufficient to meet the current needs. Federal programs strongly favor first-time applicants, making it difficult for organizations with ongoing documented threats to receive continued support. State grants are consistently oversubscribed, leaving many high-risk institutions with reduced funding or none at all. This is why surrounding jurisdictions, Montgomery, Howard, Prince George, as well as DC, have all created county-funded security grant programs to supplement state and federal resources. They've recognized that the threat environment is ongoing and that local governments have a role to play. A county security grant program would complement existing efforts, close critical funding gaps, and help protect people, not just buildings. I respectfully urge the county executive and council to move forward with this. Thank you so much for your time and your leadership.
Good evening. I'm Jackie Coleman, a District 6 resident and also the Executive Director of Maryland Hall for the Creative Arts. I appreciate the opportunity to address you today regarding the importance of funding for the arts in our county budget. As a passionate advocate for the arts, I firmly believe that investing in our creative economy is not just beneficial, but essential for the overall health and vitality of our community. The arts contribute significantly to our local economy. According to recent studies, for every dollar invested in the arts, there is a return of approximately $4 in economic activity. That includes job creation in various sectors across theater, music, visual arts, and cultural institutions. The arts foster community spirit and cohesion, and local arts programs and art events bring people together, creating a sense of belonging and pride. They encourage collaboration among residents, businesses, organizations, and enriching our community fabric. Arts education plays a crucial role in the development of our youth. It enhances critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence. And by supporting arts programs in schools and communities, we are investing in the future leaders of our county. A vibrant arts scene attracts tourists and visitors, boosting local businesses. Festivals, arts shows, and performances draw people from outside our county, generating revenue for hotels, restaurants, and shops. As you deliberate on the budget for this upcoming year, I urge you to consider providing funding for the arts. I know it is a difficult year, but this investment will not only support artists and cultural organizations, but will also enhance the quality of life for all residents of Anne Arundel County. Let us ensure that our community remains a hub of creativity and innovation. Together, we can cultivate a thriving environment that values and nurtures the arts. Thank you. And for not giving me the hook.
Good evening.
My name is Lauren Bloom. I am the rector at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Eastport. Thank you for your time this evening. I am here with Leslie Margerison on behalf of our food pantry to speak in favor of full funding for the Anne Arundel County Food Bank in the fiscal 2027 budget. I submitted written testimony earlier today, and you have that, but I'm here tonight to emphasize the urgency of this request. We have seen increasing demand at our food pantry. It's going up, it's not going to stop, and as federal programs get cut and pressure is put on other state programs, it's only going to get worse. And malnutrition affects everything else. Malnourished kids don't learn as well, malnourished adults don't work as well, malnourished seniors don't survive as long. We recognize that you will have to make some very difficult decisions in putting the county budget together. And we were so grateful that this past year, the 2026 budget was granted in full. Because while you'll have difficult choices to make, and there will be people who walk away unhappy with the choices that are made, because they have to be made, we are here to ask that they not be made at the expense of our most vulnerable neighbors, and particularly children. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We will now ask Christy Giuliano, Caitlin Romer, Chris Winsome, and Chris Nelson to please approach. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christy Giuliano. I'm here to ask you to please fund the requested school district budget and proposed amendments for schools we all deserve. AACPS has the second largest number of employees in the county. Teachers are some of our best county consumers and supporters of our businesses and restaurants. Teachers receiving at least or above cost of living percentages helps our entire county. I keep hearing of retailers and restaurants closing around the area nationwide. That makes me sad. If your second largest employer has more money to give its employees raises, teachers may have more time to spend them at county businesses if they don't have to work second and third jobs. I applaud our county leaders for how you are developing our county after COVID, but that development is outpacing teachers' salaries. If we have the time and extra money in our pocket, we can frequent these establishments, pay our bills, especially the housing rent increases. Right now, cost of living and raises are not keeping up with inflation. Our county is 14.7% higher than the national average. Keep our promises to fund new school construction and blueprint mandates, not to the detriment of your county employees. As Dr. Bedell has previously presented to you the success our county is making in education, it's time to reward your educators by easing cost of living pressure with raises that are justified and equitable. I want to add a bullet to that slide previously where you were applauding the work you've done with public safety and say, public school employees got higher than cost of living raises for 10 years in a row. Let's make that year one this time, okay? Let's add that in there. Look for ways to add revenue to the budget to help us live and work in our county and support your local businesses as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Caitlin Romer, and I am the Development Coordinator at Maryland Hall for the Creative Arts. We are an integral nonprofit arts hub in Annapolis with a simple mission of art for all. An important piece to fulfilling our mission is creating communities. This program provides free arts opportunities to students in low-income areas. Funding from the county is our largest resource. Without it, the entire program is at risk. I am here tonight to humbly ask the county to sustain its annual support of $90,000. We provide 46 weeks of free after-school programs and summer camps each year and offer instruction in over a dozen disciplines, including visual arts, dance, musical theater, robotics, and pottery. In Anne Arundel County, the average cost of after-school care in 2025 was $193 per student per week. This is an extremely limiting cost burden to families. Creating Communities programs address income barriers by providing its classes and camps completely free of charge, including materials, snacks, and instruction by expert teaching artists. We host programs at satellite sites within walking distance of critical neighborhoods. Our partners include Hitmoyer, Marshall Learning Center, Eastport United Methodist, the Stanton Center, and Gigi's Playhouse in Annapolis. Our community programs are open to all Anne Arundel County students and are designed specifically to meet the needs of underserved demographics. We are proud to offer bilingual arts instruction in English and Spanish. This past year, our after-school programs and summer camps are supporting over 300 students and families. The clubs, workshops, and performances we coordinate at 10 Title I partner schools support an additional 2,600 students in grades K through 12. The county's support of these programs improves families' lives today and invests in their future. We implore the county to maintain the current funding level in this year's budget to preserve these critical community programs.
Thank you. My name is Chris Weinstein. I am a District 6 resident, a volunteer at Animal Services for 13 years, and the president of Friends of Anne Arundel County Animals, the nonprofit that helps save the lives of the shelter's animals. I'm here tonight to ask you both for nothing. I am here to thank you for all that you have done for the homeless pets of our county since shelter volunteers started testifying at these budget town halls in January of 2020, and we've been at every one since. When we Purple Shirts first spoke at these town halls, the shelter's dog cages had dangerously rusted fronts, and the cats lived in tiny, substandard cages. Staffing was very inadequate, funding for medical treatment and even pet food was inadequate, and there was no staff veterinarian. All these things and much more have improved since then because you listened to our concerns, you visited the shelter repeatedly to learn more about its needs, and you acted to improve it. Does the shelter still need help? Yeah, of course it does, big time. But we're here tonight to wish you both well in your future endeavors, to show our appreciation for all that you have done for the county's homeless pets, and as a small gesture of our thanks, to make both of you honorary Purple Shirts. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Chris Nelson, a resident of District 6, and I'm speaking on behalf of the public library. All my life, I've been surrounded by books and nourished by them. In childhood, our home was my library, and it contained countless treasures. I didn't use the public library back then. Some 8 years ago, I joined our county library's foundation board and then its board of trustees, on which I now serve. It was only then, after visiting several of our libraries, our local branches, that I realized what an extraordinary community resource we had in our public library. With its stacks of books and tapes, to be sure, its rooms open to community groups gathered to serve one good public purpose after another, its programs for children and seniors, for working adults and families. I saw librarians helping people find work, assisting them with their computer needs, sponsoring Ask a Lawyer sessions, holding English conversation programs and immigration clinics, providing health assessment services, serving as a pantry for baby and family needs, providing free gun safety locks to anyone who asked for them. Now, over 9,600 of those have been distributed. Lending equipment to provide individuals and families with new opportunities. I attended the grand opening of our kindergarten readiness program, where you, our county executive, read to the children. My eyes were open. The libraries were about more than books. They became community centers, and I'm so very grateful for the support that the two of you have given, and the county council as well, to provide support for the libraries. Please fund the budget and supplemental budget that we've requested. It's much needed and much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Susan Piamari.
Mary Louise Howe, Michelle Noble, and Michael Glass. You will make your way up.
I'm not Susan.
Oh, okay.
My name is Ravi Palalamari. I live in District 6 and I teach math here at Annapolis High School. We in schools need more people to do what's being asked of us. The budget includes 82.2 new special education positions, including 8 speech language pathologists, 2 additional school counselors, 1 school psychologist, 1 social worker, 1 PPW, an hourly increase for TSAs who do one-on-one support for students with exceptional needs, and 10 English language development teachers, which would be good. So fund the budget for that, but that's not enough. We won't put a dent in class sizes without adding more teachers. If you want people to stay in a county that is too expensive and getting worse, you have to address workload and working conditions. Early career teachers will not stay if their pay doesn't keep up with cost of living and their workload keeps getting worse and worse. 32 vacancies and improving outcomes mean that you can trust AACPS to do what you need with the money that you give us. And if you want things to keep getting better, it will cost more. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mary Louise Howe. I've lived in District 6 for 43 years, and I'm on the board of the Anne Arundel County Food Bank. I'm here to ask for thank you, by the way, for your previous support for the food bank, including in FY26 $1.5 million. We are respectfully asking this year to include $2 million in financial support for the work of the food bank. The Anne Arundel County Food Bank provides a vital service to the people of our county. We distribute millions of pounds of food and basic necessities each year in efforts to alleviate food insecurity and to help bring stability to low-income households. Many working people in our community must rely on the resources provided by the food bank to their local pantries to keep food on the table and their families fed. In this fiscal year, the food bank is supporting an average of 51,000 food insecure people per month. Nourishing food provided no cost to families, and so they don't have to choose between eating and paying the rent or heating their homes. I personally know what it's like to grow up in a paycheck-to-paycheck family. So the work that the food bank does is very, very important. We want to thank you, continue the support, and respectfully ask that you continue to invest our county resources where they can make the greatest immediate positive impact by providing $2 million in funding to the Anne Arundel County Food Bank in FY27. Thank you again for the time to speak.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Noble. I live in District 6. I am also the branch manager of the Eastport Annapolis Neck Library, one of 3 libraries in District 6. Together, our 3 branches served almost 400,000 customers last year and checked out more than 615,000 items, clear evidence of how deeply our community relies on library services. Library staff are committed to supporting and empowering residents and creating spaces where everyone feels welcome, respected, and truly belongs. In just the last few weeks, we have opened our community pantry to those in need, presented a monthly story time for Head Start students at Eastport Community Center, helped customers search for grant funding, and hosted a chili cook-off. Our customers truly value these services and experiences. Here's what they have to say. I like the programs you put on, and I can't afford new books and magazines, so I really appreciate you being here. The staff is always knowledgeable, patient, and kind. I also love that every time I go in, I see how much they help the community. These comments reflect the daily return on the county's investment in our library system. Libraries are needed now more than ever, and it's because of the people who make them run. Today's library staff members serve as social workers, IT technicians, job counselors, educators, and peacemakers, helping people move forward toward better futures. Supporting our staff is supporting the community. To continue providing the high-quality services our community relies on, we respectfully ask the county to honor the recent collective bargaining agreement by funding the 3% merit increase and the 3% cost of living adjustment for all library staff. Thank you for considering our funding request, and thank you, County Executive Pittman and Councilwoman Rodvian, for your continued support of our libraries. Thank you, Mr. Nelson, for mentioning gun locks. I brought some tonight. In the event that anyone needs one, you can see me in the back. Thanks.
Good evening, County Executive. My name is Michael Glass, and I'm here on behalf of Jody Meisenberg, who is President of the Board at Temple Beth Shalom. And I'm also here on my own behalf as a congregant of Temple Beth Shalom. And I'm here to ask you for grant funding for security, for armed security, County Executive, at our synagogues in the county. This is very emotional for me, so I apologize. Anti-Semitism has absolutely skyrocketed across the country and across the world. Armed security is not an option at our synagogues. I can't remember the last time I was at a synagogue in the state, in the country, in the entire country where there wasn't armed security. And unfortunately, it's not an option, it's a necessity. So I'm asking for funding for our security of our synagogues. And I will tell you that Temple Beth Shalom spends $150,000 a year on security. $150,000. That's money that could be used for cultural programs, for prayer books, for scholarships, and it's going to pay for armed policemen to stand outside and protect the safety of the people within. So I thank you for the opportunity, and I hope you will provide the funding that's needed for synagogues for this issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I call up the next few names, I wanted to recognize Skip Old, CEO of Anne Arundel County Public Library, in the back there. Okay, will Kylie Enos, Fish Stark, August Wichman, and Aaron Miller make their way out?
Hi. Hello, County Executive Stuart Pittman, and hello again, Councilmember Lisa Rodvian. Hi. My name is Kylie Ennis. I'm an Annapolis resident. I am a math and English special educator here at Annapolis High School. This is my 4th year teaching at AACPS. On a full-time teacher salary, I often grocery shop at the food pantry. I am tired of barely staying afloat, but that is the current reality for teachers in this county. We have little to no savings, but we're asked to use what little money we do have for continuing education credits to keep our certifications. We're beyond burnt out. I have classes with 33 students that can barely fit inside one classroom. I work with 150 students across 6 classes and 2 grade levels with an IEP caseload of 18 students. We arrive hours before school, stay hours after, and our paperwork continues into the weekends. It is not sustainable to stay in this district if class sizes and caseloads continue to increase. I urge you to please fund the full school budget, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
One of the reasons my fiance and I chose to move home to Annapolis a few years ago is because we knew we could send our kids to good public schools. And in that spirit, I'm asking you to fully fund the Board of Education's budget request. Over the last 7 years, we've gone from dramatic underfunding of our schools to giving our schools more of the resources we need. We're still not there. I don't think we're close, but I think fully funding the budget request gets us closer. The ratio of students to school counselors in our schools should be 250 to 1, but it's 300 to 1. We'd take a step forward if we added 2 new school counselors, a psychologist, a social worker, and a pupil personnel worker as the budget requests, and I hope some of that comes to Annapolis High where it's really needed. My grocery bill is up about 20%, my BGE bill is up about 200%, and the cost of living adjustment we're requesting for teachers is only 2%. And with our MAGA federal government slashing special education services, the budget increases staffing and requests a modest pay increase for special education assistants who do some of the hardest and most important work in our schools, and it's probably not enough. We've seen these investments in our public schools over the last 7 years pay off. We've seen increased graduation rates, we've seen better test scores, and these kinds of investments are particularly important. School counselors are proven to reduce violence and increase graduation rates. Early intervention in special education means that kids get help earlier when they need it, and they need fewer services overall. When we invest money in our schools, we make it back. I know it's pathologically nerdy to have a favorite philosopher, but mine is John Dewey, who said, "What the best and wisest parent wants for his child, that we must want for all the children of the community. Anything less is unlovely, and left unchecked destroys our democracy." I think another way of saying that is we have to love our public schools like we love our kids. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, my name is August Wickman, and I am surprisingly a short-term, temporary data analyst for Anne Arundel County Public Library through the Maryland Service Year Option funding. So my position concludes in June. You've already heard the testimony of my fantastic colleagues explaining to you how the library is a source of joy and learning, and also meeting community needs and providing community support. I get to see a lot of those numbers firsthand because I'm looking at our spreadsheets for the gun safety locks. I'm seeing the presentations that the Department of Health and Human Services is sending about the social workers that people are able to access through the library. And I'm here to tell you that in order to make library work as efficient and effective as it can be, and in order to make the fantastic staff who make our library a place that is safe, a place that is a sanctuary and a refuge and access to necessary resources, in order for them to do their jobs, they need somebody to support them in data. Right now, staff are managing these programs on paper, or they're digging through emails to copy and paste one number from a paragraph into a Word document. Information is getting siloed in branches and in filing cabinets and between county departments. You've done fantastic work with this in this administration to make our county more data-driven, and I have been incredibly honored to work with Arundel Stat on supporting that work as well. And I'm here to humbly request a full-time performance measures and data analyst position for Anne Arundel County Public Library. You've also received an emailed statement from me. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi. Good evening. My name is Erin Miller, and I'm a resident of Anne Arundel County, a parent and a member of our local Jewish community. I'm here tonight with a clear and urgent request. I'm asking Anne Arundel County to establish and fund a county-level security grant program for faith-based and nonprofit institutions. While Anne Arundel County is a wonderful place to live, our own crime statistics reflect a troubling trend. Our county recorded 117 hate bias incidents last year, the highest number since reporting began, and with anti-Semitism on the rise, we must be more proactive. Mr. Pittman, even you have bravely said that hate and bias incidents threaten the safety and well-being of our community. I couldn't agree more, but acknowledgement is an action. No parent should be reluctant and fearful to drop their child off at a synagogue, Hebrew school, or community center because it lacks proper security. It should be a joyful moment, a chance to connect with their community, learn, and grow, but in reality, there are still soft targets, severely unprepared and unprotected. The current climate requires our synagogues, churches, mosques, and temples, especially those with schools, large events, and children's programs to enhance security in all areas, including emergency communication tools and trained personnel. And while these changes are expensive, they are not luxuries and they are no longer optional. Nearby jurisdictions recognize this importance and provide county-level security grants, while Anne Arundel County still does not. I'll leave you with this. According to the ADL, Maryland ranks 6th in the nation for anti-Semitic incidents in 2024, with dozens targeting Jewish institutions directly. And history has shown us this threat never stops with one community. I'm asking you, our elected leaders, to recognize the urgency in this moment and to commit to funding meaningful, accessible, and equitable security support for all faith-based communities in Anne Arundel County. We cannot wait for another incident. We cannot wait for another headline. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Joe Tulin, Karen Mayer, Teresa Size, Yvette Robinson, and Teresa Thomas. Please make your way up.
Hi there, I'm Joe Tulin. I'm a community advocate here, and I think we've heard a lot from some of the congregation leaders about the need for security grants. I'm here to talk about it a little bit from the nonprofit side as well. In the past few years, our community members, especially those who are people of color, LGBTQ folks, and religious groups as well as Latinos, are trying to feel protected in our state and in our county right now. They felt increasingly vulnerable because of when they're trying to gather for worship, study, celebrations, community service, and all of these things. These trends mirror statewide data showing dramatic increases in hate bias incidents here in Anne Arundel County. And in 2023, the state of Maryland reported a 104% increase in hate bias incidents. And so we've seen similar challenges for some of the other programs that exist, both at the federal and state level, and they don't cover all of the needs of community organizations here in Anne Arundel County. So I'm urging Anne Arundel County to establish a security grant program that provides matching grants to faith-based but also nonprofit partners for safety infrastructure, threat planning, management, crisis training, and security personnel. Similar programs have been established in other counties, as we've already heard, and right now these programs are critical for some of our most vulnerable residents in our community to feel like they can actually call this county home and the best county for all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Karen Mayer. I'm a Resident 6 resident, and I'm a board member of Hope for All. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. According to the latest edition of Poverty Amidst Plenty, more than 36,000 people in Anne Arundel County currently live below the federal poverty level, and more than 220,000 working households in Anne Arundel County do not make enough money to cover their basic expenses. While we want everyone in this county to be fed without a pot to cook in or a table to eat at, the food is of limited value. While we want all of our children to have great schools, we also would like them to have a bed to sleep in the night before they go to school. This is where Hope for All functions in the county. Our fiscal year 2025 Turning Houses into Homes program delivered a full household of furniture, housewares, and clothing to those coming out of homelessness. We served 441 families, which was a 22% increase. 48% of the families which were referred to us came from Anne Arundel County government agencies, and the remaining were from community nonprofits. We really appreciate the support we received last year. It cost us approximately $1,000 in program funds to deliver to one family in this program, which would equate to about $211,000 just from the referrals from the county. Our clothing programs, they serve students in Anne Arundel County Public Schools and individuals who are homelessness or in crisis situations. We served 1,350 individuals last year, which is an 87% increase. 82% of those referrals came from Anne Arundel County government agencies. The saddest part is, as we speak, there's 80 families in process waiting for delivery and probably sleeping on the floor without a table to eat at or a chair to sit on. We've been doing our best to keep up, and we are working hard to meet the county's ongoing requests for our support. We hope you will bring balance to our partnership with increased funding for fiscal year 2027 for Hope for All. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm here to speak in support of the tireless, vital work that the County Food Bank is doing. Sometimes it's really hard to comprehend these large numbers, and I'd like to give a single story about a single statistic and how it affects our monthly food pantry. So our food pantry runs at 926 Bay Ridge Avenue. It's about 100 feet from Harbor House, and recent statistics said that 77% of the children going to the local elementary school need breakfast assistance as well as lunch. I think that was within the last couple of years. So we serve about 160 individuals. Many of the families have more than 3 children and are 65%, like 65 years old or higher. So I'm going to give you a standard guideline. If you have a 3-person household, 2 adults, 1 child, they need about 10 pounds of protein a week. In December, the government gave us 48 pounds of protein. That is 0.3 pounds of protein per person for our food pantry. That's 2 days for an adult and 2 days for a child and 1 day for an adult. Now keep in mind we're a monthly food pantry. Somehow, the Anne Arundel County Food Bank was able to find 300 pounds of protein. That's 1.87 pounds of protein per individual. So we were able to give 4.5 days per child and 3 days for an adult. So this is still a drop in a bucket in many ways. We're not extravagant. We're trying to help. There are many places that are giving just about that amount. But the impact of what the county is, what you are able to do, has a vital effect on food deserts that are scattered throughout this county. Thank you. Please continue your support.
Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Yvette Robinson, and I am the Interim Executive Director of the Wally H. Bates Legacy Center. I am here to ask for continued funding for the Wally H. Bates Legacy Center, a vital educational, cultural, and historical resource for Anne Arundel County. The Legacy Center honors the life of Wally H. Bates, a man who was born into slavery, who became an educational leader, and whose belief in self-determination transformed generations. Today, the Legacy Center lives on through the programs that support students, families, seniors, and the broader community. The center does much more than just preserve history. It provides scholarships for students, educational programs for youth and adults, cultural exhibitions, and we partner with many community organizations throughout the county. Continued county funding is especially critical right now. Stable support allows the center to maintain strong leadership, manage daily operations, and preserve the irreplaceable historical collections that we have at the Legacy Center that not just benefit the alumni, but it benefits the entire district. As you consider your priorities for FY27, I urge you to continue funding the Wally H. Bates Legacy Center. This is an investment not just for our shared history, but also for the young people in the future of Anne Arundel County. And I'd like to personally thank you for your leadership and thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Is this on? Hi. My name is Teresa Thomas. I'm a single mom, and I'm here on behalf of TAC. And as a single parent, I'm a special educator. I'm an ACC teacher. This is my 3rd year in the South River School District. I also became a new homeowner, which should be an enjoyable experience, but I'm actually very stressed. Prices are up on everything in the county. My Anne Arundel County school benefits have increased, the car registration, car emissions, car license renewal, new home property taxes, energy prices, don't get me on that one. Not including, I have 2 teenage boys, yes. They take priority with the food in the house. When they are with me, I have to consider them getting food versus me. Well, I'll settle for ramen and rice to feed them because of the cost of groceries. The current COLA increase, the current COLA should be increased to match the current inflation Maryland is facing when the yearly fees are increased. So should the cost of living increase as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, Barry Fleischman, Stephen Sutton, Stephen Sutton, Paula Hendry, and Adam Palinkas. Please make your way up.
Good evening. My name is Barry Fleischman. I'm the Deputy Regional Chair of the ADL for the Mid-Atlantic region. I'm also a member of Kol Shalom, about a 5-minute drive from here. You'll be hearing from Howard Salab, the president of Kol Shalom, right after me. In 2024, there were 356 anti-Semitic incidents in Maryland, 6th highest in the country. A third of those were at Jewish institutions or schools, directly at the institutions or schools. We don't have the 2025 statistics yet, but we don't have any reason to believe that it's going to be any better. Kol Shalom has 130 families. They're a 7-day-a-week operation. They have 48 kids in a non-denominational preschool, 36 kids in a religious school, 130 families. 130 families. $80,000 it cost them last year for man security. Let's be clear, man security is not covered by the federal nonprofit security program. It's basically a tax on victims of hate, not just in the Jewish faith, but other faith institutions as well. Other counties, as you've heard, have programs that provide nonprofit security grant. This is a problem that requires funding from the federal government, the state government, and local governments to meet the security needs of victims of hate. Thank you very much. We hope you approve it.
Thank you.
Good evening.
It's really tough to hear back there. This mic, turn it up, whatever.
Can we do a mic check?
Hello?
Make sure you just speak directly into the mic. It should work.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here to express my strong support for allocating Anne Arundel County funds for security grants for faith institutions in Anne Arundel County. My name is Howard Salab, and I'm the president of the congregation Kol Shalom on Hidden Meadow Lane near Annapolis Mall. We have approximately 130 families in our synagogue, with 36 children enrolled in the religious school and 48 children enrolled in our preschool. Our faith institutions, synagogues, churches, mosques, gathering places for families, centers for community service and sanctuaries of hope and compassion, and other houses of worship are more than buildings. They are places of gathering for families, centers for community service and education, and sanctuaries of hope and compassion. Whether offering food and shelter for those in need, youth programs, or simply a place of prayer, these institutions serve as critical pillars of our community. However, recent years have shown that all too often, these sacred institutions have become targets of vandalism, threats, or worse. No community should have to live with fears of violence while attending worship or participating in vital community activities. Our faith communities deserve to feel safe. As part of our yearly budget, our synagogue congregation, Kol Shalom, allocates $80,000 to have security on premises while worshipers, students, and staff in our building. Security grant funding would provide crucial resources for enhanced protective measures. Thank you so much, and we hope that you will support that initiative.
Thank you.
I too am here to support security grants for faith-based and nonprofits. My name is Steve Sutton, and I represent Congregation Knesset Israel in Annapolis and Post 380 of the Jewish War Veterans, and I'm also here with the support of our friends across the street of the Greek Church. Last night, Governor Moore said that Maryland's fight against hate in all forms is a fight for Maryland's soul, and I ask you to expand the county's fight against hate. We appreciate your administration's attention to hate. All of your agencies that are concerned with that are doing good work, but they need additional services. Our Jewish community, like other communities, must protect our members and facilities from harm, as you've just heard. The federal and state grants, we're grateful for them, but they, as the first speaker of the evening stated, they're not sufficient and there are risks associated with them. Threats do not wait. Counties are best positioned to respond quickly to local incidents, intelligence, and emerging vulnerabilities. And as you've heard, anti-Semitism has not declined. Attacks against the Jewish communities continue, fueled in part by hate through the social media and increasingly by AI platforms. Maryland Jews experience anti-Semitic incidents daily. Our county is not immune. The 4 Jewish houses of worship in the county remain in need of funding, and all the other faith-based organizations as well. We need a secure environment where families can gather safely. We know that other groups are threatened and need security. They need protection. Neighboring counties have acted. We ask you to act as well. And protecting against hate crimes is a moral imperative, a fight for the county soul. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Paula Hendry from the Annapolis Area Imagination Library. The Annapolis Imagination Area Library mails 3,500 high-quality books monthly to children from birth through 5 in targeted areas of the county. We focus on areas with high counts of low-income and English language learning families and areas with low reading scores. We also send messages to parents urging them to engage in literacy activities. Our goal is for every child to enter school ready and eager to learn to read. 28% of U.S. adults are functionally illiterate. Functional illiteracy can mean limited job opportunities, poor health, reliance on public assistance, and it's often passed to future generations. We spend a lot of money each year on remedial reading education, but most children who fall behind never catch up. Prevention is the key. 3rd grade is a critical milestone. Kids not reading on grade level by then are 4 times more likely to leave school without a diploma and face poverty and other negative outcomes. Kindergarten readiness strongly predicts 3rd grade reading success. In several studies, low-income children participating in our program were substantially more likely to meet kindergarten readiness benchmarks. A new study of over 50,000 families showed that Imagination Library participants were 9 times more likely to be read to 4 times a week or more. And also, after receiving just 10 books from the program, children were 4 times more likely to demonstrate much stronger reading literacy skills. AACPS spends $16,000 per pupil each year for a total of $208,000 over its child's school career. At $2.60 per book, $156 provides a child with monthly books from birth to age 5, which is a small investment to help each child develop their early literacy skills. Thank you very much. We hope you support our program.
Thank you.
Good evening, County Executive Pittman and Councilwoman Rodney. My name is Adam Palinkas. I'm a resident of Anne Arundel County and the Secretary-Treasurer of the Anne Arundel County Professional Firefighters. Tonight is the last of 7 district town halls. Over the past few weeks, we've heard from friends and neighbors asking for funding for police, animal services, detention officers, DPW, food banks, parks and recs, Chesapeake and Arundel asking for field houses, libraries, John Hopkins House, schools, and the list goes on. Many of these speakers represent county employees, and nearly all were affected by the years of pay falling behind under previous administrations. Over the past several years, this administration has worked to correct that, and we thank you for doing what was right. But it's harder to do when Anne Arundel County maintains a lower than average tax rate. What's become clear from these town halls is this: we have a below average tax rate and a below average staffing to go with that across many county agencies. The fire department is no exception. The national standard is 4 firefighters per apparatus. In Anne Arundel County, the minimum is 3. Just 2 hours before this town hall, there was a house fire in Ferndale. The Ferndale fire station was unstaffed. 10 fire apparatus responded, but only 2 county units met the national standard of 4 firefighters. The rest responded with 3. If those units had been staffed with 4, we would have needed 2 fewer fire apparatus to put the same number of firefighters on scene. That means 2 more stations available for other emergencies happening at the same time. And if Ferndale had been staffed, crews would have arrived sooner. Getting water on the fire earlier means the fire stays smaller, survivability improves, property damage is reduced, and units clear the scene faster. Staffing isn't theoretical. It changes outcomes. This isn't about conveniences, it's about capacity. Standards exist because emergencies don't wait or care which district you live in. All Anne Arundel County residents are asking for is a fair chance when they call 911. Standards tell us what's needed, and this budget determines whether we fix it or we accept the risks. Anne Arundel County residents deserve better. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Aaron Carver, Casey Cameron, Don Bailey, and Claire Ogilvy. Please make your way up.
Good evening. My name is Aaron Carver. I work for the Anne Arundel County Fire Department for 25 years. Over the course of my career, I've seen our call volume has basically doubled. But guess what hasn't doubled? Our staffing. So far behind. What we've done over the years is move from people from one area to another area, which results in what we call cross-staffing. Cross-staffing means you go to a fire station, you think there's a fire apparatus there, but really, it's this piece of equipment staffed by one crew between 2 things. Less people for the emergencies. Every day, this county runs out of medic units, usually around between noon, 5 p.m. We continue to wait 15 to 20 minutes for a paramedic unit to arrive. When seconds count, we're only going to be minutes away every time. I come up here and we're asking just for what the minimum is, not anything extra. 4 is the minimum. 31 stations, only 4 companies have the minimum staffing of apparatus. Some people might say that I'm really not really good at public speaking, by the way, if you can't tell. I know.
You're doing great.
But I came up here, and I'm like a few years away from retirement. And why come up here anyway, right? Because I work with some really great people that deserve better. I don't want to leave it better than the way I found it. Stuart Pittman, this is your last year. I want you to be the county executive we remember, not the one we want to forget. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. County Executive Pittman, Councilwoman Rodney. My name is Casey Cameron. I'm the Vice President of Anne Arundel County Professional Firefighters. I'm also a county firefighter paramedic and a resident of Anne Arundel County. I want to begin and close the final in-person budget town hall by saying thank you. Thank you for investing right here in District 6 and our fire department. We are proud of the new state-of-the-art Crownsville Fire Station, and we are grateful for the commitments you have made to public safety over the last 7 years. But tonight, I'm asking that we truly commit to public safety this year. In the coming months, we will open a nearly $14 million state-of-the-art fire station that, as of today, we don't have the funding needed to properly staff it. Once again, we are preparing to open a fire station without the budgeted proper positions required to protect the Crownsville community. And as of today, the station is already 442 days past its projected opening date. A new building does not respond to emergencies, firefighters do. When stations open without even enough staffing, the risk doesn't disappear. It's just getting passed on. It gets passed on to residents who wait longer for help and to firefighters who are forced to take on more risk than they should ever have to worry, than they should ever have to carry. I'm asking you tonight to fully fund Chief Wolford's budget, commit to applying for the federal SAFER grant, and to clearly show my members that they matter and that their safety matters. We want them to go home at the end of their shift. As we've listened to residents throughout these budget town halls, we've heard about real necessities in this county. from public safety to food insecurity in our schools. It has been humbling to watch students in high schools in this community fight just to have a field house that meets basic ADA requirements. These are not extras, these are essentials in this county. Public safety needs to be treated the same way. So in closing, I'm asking for you to fully staff the FY27 budget and staff our fire department to the minimum level needed to keep our community and our firefighters safe. Please do not let the Crownsville Fire Station become another promise that looks good on paper but fails for the people who depend on it. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Don Bailey. I'm the president of the Friends of Historic Johns Hopkins House. We request that you allocate funds to the FY27 budget to acquire Whiteshall, the birthplace and childhood home of the great philanthropist Johns Hopkins. We hope to develop a public and private partnership with Anne Arundel County. Once the purchase of the property was to be made, it would be leased to our nonprofit, where we will begin to manage the property by pursuing donations and grant funding for full restoration and maintenance of this historic house and 13 plus acres of open green space. We intend to accomplish this task without any further financial support from Anne Arundel County, just the original purchase price. We hope to develop, in addition to some community service opportunities, and provide programming for people of all ages centered around 4 key ideas. For the arts, we hope to support things like classes from Chesapeake Arts Center, Maryland Hall, and the Arts Lab of South County. We hope to develop classes for adults and children in the Crofton Gambros area. Some of this art, along with art from local adult art clubs and the Crofton High School Art Honor Society, will be shown at art shows we sponsor. Sculptures will be added to our newly restored gardens. In the world of music, we hope to offer the house for concerts and piano recitals. Our neighborhood favorites, Beer Gardens of 2.0, will return with live music on the weekends in the warmer months. For education, there is a variety of events and activities focused on learning. We will have artists, authors, historians, and photographers make information presentations. With the support of grant money, we hope to develop a free after-school tutoring program for those students in need. In the realm of history, we hope to share the history of Whiteshall, the Hopkins family, the enslaved people, the local county and state histories will be honored and celebrated through activities like presentations and a summer camp. Every time you visit Whiteshall, you will be immersed in history. Please help us make this project successful by finding the funds to save this historic property.
Thank you.
Good evening, County Executive Stuart Pittman, Councilwoman Rodman, and other honorable members. My name is Claire Ogilvie, and I am a student in Southern High School's Case Agriculture Science program and serving as this year's chapter secretary. On behalf of our chapter, I want to express our sincere gratitude for the funding and support you have provided. This investment has created a meaningful and lasting impact on our agriculture education, and we are incredibly thankful for the opportunities it has created for us. Thanks to your generous funding, our chapter has been able to purchase 4 new hydroponic systems and an aquaponic system. These resources have transformed the way we learn. Instead of only reading about modern agricultural practices, we are now able to experience them firsthand. We have learned how plants can grow efficiently without soil, how water quality affects fish and plant health, and how sustainable systems can play a major role in the future of agriculture. These hands-on experiences have helped us build real-world skills that extend far beyond the classroom. In addition, your support has allowed us to attend numerous educational field trips, being able to connect what we learn in school to real agriculture operations. It has expanded our understanding of the industry and inspired many of us to pursue further education and careers in agriculture science and environmental sustainability. While attending the Maryland Farm Yard Next Gen Conference back in December, members were able to participate in a meal packing event with Rise Against Hunger. This activity fueled our motto, Living to Serve. So FFA members decided to take action. In honor of FFA's National Day of Service, FFA is proud to sponsor with other leadership clubs within Southern High School to host a meaningful meal packing event focused on service and impact. Together, we are packing 20,000 meals for children in need across the country.
These meals will be organized into 81 boxes, with each box providing enough food to feed one child for an entire academic year. This event highlights the power of collaboration, leadership, and service as we work together to make a real-world difference in the lives of students nationwide. The funding you provide does more than purchase equipment or cover transportation costs. It shows that you believe in the future of agriculture. Thank you for investing in us and our education. We truly appreciate all that you do.
Thank you. Kevin Caton, Leah Paley, Mike Shire, Harry Jaron. Can you make your way up?
Good evening, County Executive Pittman and Council Member. My name is Kevin Caton, and I'm a student at Southern High School and the president of the Southern FFA chapter. I want to begin by sincerely thanking the Council for the funding you have provided to our program. Because of this support, 4 students, including myself, had the opportunity to travel to Indiana to represent Maryland in the National FFA Meets Evaluation and Technology Career Development event. Through this experience, I applied classroom instruction into a real-world setting by evaluating meat quality and identifying cuts. Competing at the national level strengthened my critical thinking skills and my understanding of food quality and safety, a field I plan to study in college. Additionally, through the CASE program, I have also gained hands-on real-world experience working with our brand new hydroponic systems and germination chamber, where I learned how to monitor nutrient solutions, manage plant growth, and troubleshoot system challenges. These systems allow students just like me to apply their science and technology career passions into a controlled real-world environment. As a student, I have greatly been benefited by these opportunities. However, we continue to hear students from stories who are eager to join the CASE program at Southern, but are restricted due to 5 numbers, their zip code. I respectfully ask that you continue funding for the CASE Agriculture Science program and support its expansions in the future budget. Doing so will allow students just like me across the county to access these life-changing experiences and prepare them for skills in the real world. Thank you for your time tonight in prioritizing agriculture education.
Thank you.
Wrote it down. Oh my goodness. You'd think after so many of these I would have that down. Good evening. I'm Leah Paley with the Anne Arundel County Food Bank. Thank you so much for the opportunity to provide input. You've heard from a lot of food bank advocates tonight and at all of the preceding town halls, so I'll try to keep my remarks very brief. We are so very grateful to the county for your unwavering support last year. That was $1.5 million. And I just wanted to give a shout out also to the county for our collaboration in the fall when we had our government shutdown and the SNAP lapse. The county government was very quick to respond to that and partnered alongside the food bank so we could deliver a lot of boxes of food to our community members experiencing food insecurity. So thank you so much for that. As many of my other friends who've gotten up and talked about the food county have asked, we are asking the county to consider $2 million for Anne Arundel County Food Bank, and this funding is going to allow us to continue to sustain the free foods that we provide to our network of partners across the county, some of whom you heard from this evening. And being responsive, it allows us to continue to be responsive to the growing demand for assistance. District 6 is actually the second highest recipients of our assistance of all the 7 districts. So in the first 6 months of this fiscal year, so between July and December, we distributed at 19 sites to more than 62,000 individuals. And in addition to that, 15,000 pounds of food to over 1,600 people at our mobile pantry distributions just in District 6. Shout out to the schools in District 6 and our library in District 6, without whom this program would not be possible. So we're committed to continuing to meet the need, but we can't do it alone. The importance of nutritional food like produce is really important to us. Over 1.2 million pounds of produce distributed last year, and we see that continuing to rise through the county's support because we know that food insecurity and health are deeply connected. So thank you so very much. We ask you to consider our request and appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Harry Jarin. Last name is Jarin. I'm a resident of District 7, actually. And full disclosure, I am a candidate for public office, running for the congressional seat that includes much of South County. I'm also an active volunteer firefighter at Station 2 in Edgewater. And I'm here tonight to strongly encourage you to fund additional staffing for the fire department. You know, aside from firefighting, which is really more of a hobby for me and a livelihood for those people back there, my actual job is that I'm a consultant and a grant writer for fire and EMS departments across the country. I've read a lot of these fire service studies, and I've written several of them. The meat of it comes down to one line in the recommendation section here, which is that to align with NFPA 1710, we need to add a fourth firefighter on suppression apparatus. It really can't be any more simple than that. This study was notable for me because it's so explicit in its recommendation. I can tell you from personal experience, it's not a good feeling when you show up at an incident and there's more to do than you have the resources to do while you're waiting for additional staffing to arrive. This is an incredibly important marginal improvement in safety for our firefighters. And I certainly understand in the budget process, I've been part of a lot of different budget processes over the years. There's definitely a philosophical difference coming from the municipality, the county, versus the fire department. The county is often thinking about what is going to work 99% of the time. As the fire department, we're thinking what's going to work that 1% of the time where we don't have the resources that we're able to count on paper. I know you've heard a lot from the union local. This is me as a volunteer telling you this. I would strongly encourage you to fund additional staffing for the fire department. And I'm here to help if you're looking to go after the SAFER grant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Mike Sharm with the Anne Arundel County Fraternal Order of Police, representing the police officers of our county. A few moments ago, one of the other speakers said, "Job well done." Well, we're still here. We still have work to do. The job ain't done yet. I do want to recognize I was on your transition team almost 8 years ago, where we made a number of public safety recommendations. I served with one of our police communications operators, Ms. Debbie Scott. She served 35 years with our police department and passed away earlier this week. And if we could just remember her service for a moment, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Last night was town hall up in Glen Burnie area. It was not the first time that I got heckled at one of these events. The FOP has been at every single one of them. We're the only group that gets heckled at these events. And yet I stand here before you proud of my 22 years of service as a police officer in the state. I've served in the company of heroes that, as you know, many of them rushed into one of our elementary schools this morning after a student brought a firearm to school and discharged it. Our agency is one of the best in the country. We know this because we've been accredited 10 times. And when the assessors come around, they say that more agencies should be like Anne Arundel County Police. I am immensely proud of my agency and my service. But it is difficult to be a police officer in these times. When I started, there was enormous competition to be a police officer. Today, we'll take anybody, hire them that meet minimum standards. Thankfully, Anne Arundel County Police training has higher standards. That means a lot of people wash out of our training, but that also means that we're some 30% understaffed from where we should be. What the gentleman before me just said is that there's often more to do than the resources that we have available. That's every day for our police officers. We've been coming to you with ideas on how to staff our police agency. Unfortunately, too often your administration gives us the default Anne Arundel County answer, it seems. No. This is your last year before you join me in this line on the future town halls, as I'm sure you will. We've come to you with ideas. They've been rejected. What are your ideas? How are we going to solve this problem? We're here to do it together. You have done enormous things to hold us where we're at, to keep our staffing from falling too far behind. But we're not there yet. Please don't give up now. Please help us solve this problem so I don't have to turn around and add you to the list of county executives who failed to properly staff our police department in so many years before. Thank you.
All right, Sam Hopkins, Joy Ryder Simpson, Benjamin Tuck, and Weston Van Wambet.
Good evening. Is this working? I don't hear myself.
We do. Yes, we hear you.
My name is Sam Hopkins. I'm here to support the proposal by Donald Bailey and the Friends of the Historic Johns Hopkins House for a public-private partnership to preserve the birthplace of Johns Hopkins and also make it of great benefit to this county. I am also here to offer help for this project. This is of great personal importance to me for 3 reasons. First, I am a great-great-great-nephew of Johns Hopkins. Second, I and several of my ancestors and living relatives have enjoyed living a lot of their lives in this county over the last 100 years. Third, and most important, I have had much personal and successful experience in another public-private partnership to help restore and promote the use of the other historic home of Johns Hopkins. And this experience allows me to predict with confidence that what Don Bailey proposes will also be successful. The other Johns Hopkins home is called Clifton Mansion. It is surrounded by Clifton Park in Baltimore City. Both have been owned by the city since 1895. And for the last 30-plus years, my father and then my brothers and I have worked in a public-private partnership for preserving, improving, restoring, and promoting the use of this Clifton Mansion. Our private nonprofit is called Friends at Clifton Mansion. My father created it and my brother Henry now runs it. And this partnership has been a great success. So again, we are confident that what Donald Bailey proposes will also be a great success. The timing of Don Bailey's proposal is also perfect. The value of the birthplace is far greater than ever before because the statewide, countrywide, and worldwide admiration is now enormous for all the institutions founded by Johns Hopkins, and some of those are also located in your county. Finally, new research that I've been involved with shows wonderfully more good things about the Quakers in your county's history, including the Hopkins family. Good things that you can use Johns Hopkins' birthplace to teach and boast about. Publication of this research is just begun. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm short. Is it picking me up? Yes? Yes, okay. Hi, Joy Ryder Simpson, member of the Board of Directors for the Teachers Association of Anne Arundel County, speaking tonight as an individual. Today, friends, was a tragic day in Anne Arundel County Public Schools. We all heard that a 7-year-old brought a gun to school to Freetown Elementary School. It could have been so much worse today than what it actually was. But thanks to a classroom teacher, not a policeman, not a fireman, and please, friends, I mean no disrespect, I believe they should be funded in their requests as well. But it was a classroom teacher who disarmed the student and brought that student to the nurse. Right now, we are facing a crisis in American schools, and Anne Arundel County Public Schools are not immune to that, and we need to recognize that. We need action to make sure that our classrooms are safe for our teachers and for our students, so that a tragedy like Parkland High School, so that a tragedy like Sandy Hook, and so many others that we have learned the names of through the years does not happen here. And so I'm asking that when you fund the budget for Anne Arundel County Public Schools, that you take that into consideration and you remember the safety of each and every child that you pass in Anne Arundel County Public Schools, that you remember the faces of the teachers that you've seen in this budget process, and that you think of their safety as well, because we are counting on you to keep us safe. We can't do it alone. We've heard too many names of teachers who've made heroes because they put their lives on the line to protect students. We need that to stop. We need to protect them as a partnership. To do that, we need to alleviate the pressures that are on our classrooms, including budgetary. That means that we have fewer teachers that are in the profession, that when 40 to 50% of teachers leave in the first 7 years, that is a tragedy, that is a crisis. And the way that we are having fully filled teacher positions isn't because we have so many more teachers in the profession in 2025 and 2026, but it is because classroom positions have been collapsed and we have fewer teachers doing more work. Please, friends, when you fund the budget, think about that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Benjamin Tuck, 30-year resident of Anne Arundel County, 10-year teacher in Anne Arundel County Public Schools. I'm asking you to fully fund the Anne Arundel County Public Schools budget, and I'm asking you to increase the proposed COLA for educators and to increase staff. We help raise your children. We put in unpaid overtime on nights and weekends. We develop curriculum over the summer. And rather than being given a hero's welcome as firefighters and police are given, teachers often received a frosty welcome. I recall when Stuart Pittman was campaigning that he came to repeated union meetings and invited us to a ranch for a picnic. Come back, we miss you. And I'm glad that you're here, that you've come to our high school, so you can see firsthand the cafeteria where they're so short-staffed that not all the students get to eat in the 25 minutes allotted to them for lunch. I'd also like to show you the classrooms, including mine, that are not fully cleaned because our custodians are not fully staffed and don't have time to clean every single classroom. To address these, I'm asking you to fully fund the education budget and to increase the COLA adjustment for our educators, to honor the sacrifices of the nights and weekends that educators give. And so we can hire more cafeteria workers and custodial staff and have exemplary public schools in our state's capital. Thank you, County Executive Pittman, and thank you, Councilwoman Rodvane. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Weston Van Wambeck, and I have a daughter who just finished her first year of girls flag football in middle school, sponsored by the county. I'm here to ask for your support in making girls flag football a high school sport in Anne Arundel County. So how can you help? I'll give you an example. Over the last 2 years, Howard County showed what's possible when leadership and vision come together. Led by Howard County Executive Calvin Ball, your counterpart, the county partnered with the NFL and Baltimore Ravens to provide funding to launch girls flag football as a high school sport in Howard County. As a result, it is now officially recognized by the Maryland Public Secondary School Athletic Association, our governing body for high school sports in Maryland. Just last month, the NCAA recognized women's flag football as an emerging sport. That designation matters. It creates pathways to college scholarships and real opportunities for our young women. 7 Maryland counties are already participating: Frederick, Montgomery, Washington, Baltimore City, Calvert, Charles, and Prince George's counties. So the question for us tonight is simple. How do we ensure our girls in Anne Arundel County aren't left behind? We have a proven model. We have state and national recognition. What we need now is commitment to funding, partnership, and action. This isn't just about girls flag football. This is about giving our young women in this county equal opportunity to scholarships and a college education. Thank you.
Thank you. Danny McCombs, Sue Levine, and James Richmond. Please make your way up.
Howdy, howdy. So, I'm not the type to really prepare speeches and stuff, but a little bit about myself. Again, I'm a product of this county. All right. Student of Old Mill.
You can pull that out and hold it up so
Oh.
pull it out of the stand.
Pull the mic out.
Take the microphone out
Oh.
of the stand. Yeah.
Thank you. That's a bit better. But it's kind of hard to afford to really be in this county. All right. As a teacher, I care about my students. I love showing up here day in, day out. It's tiring, it gets on my nerves at times, but guess what? I still do it for the love of the game, all right? But it goes to a point where I have to look at what I want to do later on in life. I want to be able to have a family. I want to be able to own a home in this county. I'm going to be honest. It's kind of hard to do what I'm paid right now, all right? I want to see this county grow. I want to see bigger and bigger schools in this county. I want to be able to see and say that, hey, I have a classroom. Kind of hard to do that when we're not expanding schools. We have special ed teachers. We have TSAs. They're doing great work for our children. These are your guys' children. But it's hard to really be able to help them to our fullest abilities when we're understaffed, when we're undertrained, when we're not really incentivized to really be here. A great team has great leaders on there, all right? Great leaders are made when veteran leaders bring up those leaders. Veteran teachers don't stay because they're not paid enough. New teachers don't come in, they don't get that help, they don't get that building with those veteran teachers. So they don't become leaders. All in all, from top down, it ends up becoming a tower that's falling down, all right? We're losing leaders, we're losing teachers, we're losing veterans, we're losing new people coming in. Like my colleague said, around 7 years, half of new teachers quit. I'm in my third year right now. Next year's gonna be my fourth year. But my third year, I don't want to be flipping a coin deciding if I stay or go, all right? That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
My name is Sue Levine. I am a resident of District 6 and a board member of Annapolis Immigration Justice Network, AIJN. I am here this evening testifying in favor of the county's continued funding to support immigrant children and families in Anne Arundel County through programs including the Legal and Wraparound Services for Immigrant Youth and Family and the Family Protection Initiative. AIJN connects immigrants in our county to attorneys. Unlike the criminal system, the immigration system does not provide a court-appointed attorney for people who cannot afford one. Families who are struggling must already choose between paying rent and buying groceries. They do not have the means to obtain the legal representation necessary to navigate the complicated and intimidating immigration process. The result is singular: cruelty. Children ripped from the embrace of their loved ones, unnecessary hardship on families, a violently fractured community. Over the past few weeks, the families of 10 individuals who have been detained have contacted AIJN for help. They are desperate, as any family torn apart would be. AIJN staff responded immediately to get those individuals connected to a lawyer before they were moved to a long-term detention facility in another state. In several of these cases, AIJN was able to provide legal consultations and funding for legal representation within hours. Attorneys began working on legal filings the day our community members were detained. In this work, that timeline is all but impossible. It was made possible by AIJN's work funded by the Family Protection Initiative. Immigration enforcement will only continue to ramp up. Funding for the Family Protection Initiative is the best chance our community members have at the legal representation they deserve and need. If our county's values include protecting families and upholding due process, as I believe they do, then I respectfully ask for your support in maintaining this critical funding in the upcoming budget. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'd like to close us out. It's almost 8 o'clock. Thank you for staying.
We're good.
All right. Good evening. I'm James Hirschman, a resident of District 6 and the president of the Anne Arundel County Volunteer Firefighters Association. So I want to start by thanking you County Executive Pittman, Councilwoman Rodvian, for your support of public safety and the volunteer firefighter system we have. For 8 years, County Executive, you worked to make Anne Arundel County the best place for all. And today, I believe Anne Arundel County is blessed with the best combination fire and EMS system in the nation, maybe the world. And that it's the career and volunteer firefighters working side by side to protect our county. Anne Arundel County has always been a place where neighbors take care of neighbors, where we don't just call for help, we answer the call ourselves. During Winter Storm Fern, your volunteers from across the county stepped up. We placed 26 additional emergency vehicles in service during the storm. You may have seen the news story about the volunteers who saved a family's dog. What you didn't see, and what I saw, was that same volunteer was on shift for 3 days straight and responded to 26 other emergency calls. And that's the kind of dedication that comes from loving this county. It's not about glory, it's not about money, certainly not for the volunteers, and honestly not for anyone in this profession. It's the love of taking care of your fellow human being. That shared purpose, that refusal to accept preventable harm is what makes our combination system great. But, in the words of my favorite philosopher, Kendrick Lamar, it's not enough. Demands for service continue to grow. We're learning more about how to keep responders and the public safe, which means additional training, additional equipment, additional cost. Your Anne Arundel County Volunteer Firefighters Association is working hard to meet these challenges, improving baseline readiness, strengthening coverage when the system is strained, and training ordinary citizens how to step up and be heroes when seconds matter. Now, the realities are difficult. You're faced with the impossible task of balancing unbounded need with fiscal limits, but we ask for your continued investment in the volunteer companies that make our combination system work. And together, we'll keep Anne Arundel County the best place for all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so now we will open up the floor to anyone who has not yet spoken. If you would like to present your budget request, please line up at the microphone. Please speak directly in the mic so that we can hear you clearly, and make sure that you state your name before you begin. All right, anyone going once? Oh, yep.
I'm Kathy Williams. I'm a teacher here at Annapolis High School, a graduate of Annapolis High School. I'm a county resident, and I'm a special educator. And what all my colleagues said tonight, I want to reiterate what they said. And as a special educator, I have seen my caseload go up every single year. I co-teach algebra 3 periods a day, and I have a caseload of 18 students. So when I leave my classroom, I head up to back to my office to work on all my caseload, to work up with my students there. And so I'm spread very thin, as many of our teachers are. So I am requesting to fully fund our budget. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we want to thank everyone for the great dialogue tonight. If you have any additional budget comments, so please share them at the email address here at budget-comments@aecounty.org. If you would like to see the recording from tonight's event, you can do so on Arundel TV's YouTube channel. Now I will turn it back to our elected officials for closing remarks, starting with Councilwoman Rodney.
Since it's 8 o'clock and I can bet everybody is ready to go home, I just want to say I wrote down every single person's testimony. So I hear you, I acknowledge you, and I want to know that I'm listening and will do everything I can to make it happen. Thank you.
Well, this was the last one, so I wrote down everything and I was going to go through them all. But I just decided that if you read my weekly letter, read it this week, I'm going to go through them all, okay? So just check the weekly letter. But thank you all for coming tonight, and this is This one felt good to me. I don't know why, but maybe it was because it was the last one in person. But I love all of you and all of the organizations that you're representing and the causes that you're advocating for. And we have some work to do, don't we, to get there. Thank you.